Hi everyone. Today we're going to do a little spine medicine. So you know Pilates is all about the spine. So to begin with, we're going to come onto our back on our mat and we're going to do the pelvic bowl. So this is something to start with. So this is something that is so good for your low back. So if you ever have low back tightness, do this little exercise, right? So place your hands on your belly like this. Imagine you have a bowl on your belly, right? Right around your navel there. And you're going to let your pelvis tilt. So relax your arms here. Inhale, tilt the tailbone down. Exhale, tilt the tailbone up. So if you had a bowl, you'd be spilling the bowl down. Say you have soup in your bowl, right? You're spilling your soup there. And then you're spilling your soup back towards you. And just gently rock your pelvis, your tailbone, without forcing it, just letting the bones move more than trying to use the muscles, right? Letting your bones move. It's all about the bones here, really. And then come to center, and now we're going to make a circle. So you imagine you have your bowl of soup, and you're going to tilt it down, and then you're going to take it to the left and then tilt it up, take it to the right. And you can also, like if you had you're watching your soup go around your bowl, right? Or you're pressing a little circle into the mat with your sacrum. You can also think of that. So you feel your sacrum making a circle on the mat when you do this. Yeah, it's like a belly dance move. Try not to move your legs. And now go the other way. So you're going to circle around the other way. Notice if one's different than the other. One direction is different than the other. Sometimes for me, that is the case. Yeah, sometimes that's the case. So just notice. Good. And then come to center. So do that whenever you feel tightness in your low back. It's so good medicine for your low back. Now we're going to bridge. So inhale, exhale, curl your tailbone upward, right? And leading with your tailbone, you're going to peel off the mat. There we go, into a bridge. Adjust your feet if you need to. Inhale, press the sacrum up, and exhale, holding the hips up. You're going to melt your spine all the way down till your hips come down. Good. Again, inhale, exhale, curl the tailbone, peel off the mat. Good. All the way up. Press the sacrum up as you inhale, melting your ribs, melting your spine, all the way down. One more time. Inhale, relax everything. Exhale, curl the tailbone up and peel. So at the top of our bridge, we're going to stay here. Keep your hips up. You might even want to put your hands here so you can make sure you don't drop your hips. Let your tailbone drop and then curl it up. This is called caterpillar. So you're going to let your tailbone, your coccyx tilt down and then curl it up toward the ceiling. Very small movement, like a little caterpillar is inching along, right? Inhale down, exhale up. You can have your hands there or not. I just prefer my hands to be on my hips when I am doing pelvic movement. Just helps to feel it, you know. Good. And then next time you curl up, stay there. Tailbone curling up. Inhale and bridging all the way, one bone at a time. Good. And then relax your pelvis. We're going to bring our legs together. So your knees, your calves, your ankles, everything together. You can slide your arms out farther and just let your knees sway over to the left and keep your right shoulder anchored, right? Anchoring it to the ground and then lift up. So we're just doing a pretty simple twist here, but we're going to try to keep our legs pretty close together and get that twist a little deeper, right? And keeping the shoulders anchored. So then we come up And then maybe you go a little faster if you warmed up a little bit. Just let your spine mobilize here and relax your legs to the side. Good. And back. Another really good thing to do on a daily basis. One more time. So take them to the left and then straighten your right leg on top of your left leg. Knees are lined up, reaching your right shoulder into the ground. Good. And then bend, lift it to the top. Take your knees to the right. Extend that left leg. Knees are lined up. Good. Reaching your left shoulder into the ground. Bend and back to the top. Okay, so we're going to come up to sitting. So go ahead and bring yourself around and up to sitting. I'm going to face you for this one. Cross your legs, just sit comfortably. Let's see if I can get my whole body in the photo here. Okay, in the camera. So place your fingertips on your sternum, like that. So the idea here is we want to keep our nose and fingertips in line the whole time while we twist. So elbows can be lifted a little bit, just don't go like this, right? So we're going to inhale, lift the spine, nice and tall, deep breath, and then on your exhale, you're going to rotate. So again, keeping your nose in line with your fingertips, go as far as you're able to. Stop and inhale, and exhale back. Again, lift on the inhale, rotate on the exhale. Stop, take an inhale, and exhale back. So getting a little bit of mobility in the upper thoracic for the next thing we're going to do is mermaid, one of my favorite things in Pilates. And if you can sit like this with your left leg, left foot into your right thigh, and toes are lying down behind you, or if you need to sit like this, that's okay. Or you can even sit cross-legged. If this is too uncomfortable and you can't get your hip down enough, okay, so what we want to get is that hip down toward the ground. Sometimes people are way up here and it's just too uncomfortable. But if you can, get that hip down, lift your spine, right? And then take your hands out from your sides. So we're going to lift the right arm up as we inhale, and we're going to rotate as we exhale to try to point our chest right between our hands on the mat. Hands are lined up with your shoulders, pretty much. You can walk them a little farther away. Your hip is going to lift when you do this. But we're trying to twist our spine to the left as much as we can. Good, and we're going to do a cat-cow. So inhale as you lift the sternum, and then pressing into the mat, rounding your back as you exhale. You'll feel your right rib cage get a nice stretch here. Good. Inhale, lift the sternum, shoulders down the back. Exhale, press and round. Good. Just do that a few times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press and round. One more. Lift, hip lifts, and then press the hip down as you round your back. Come back to neutral and around to face forward. This hand on the mat, left arm up by your ear, right? And you're just going to lean into that stretch. So this hand's just supporting you. Keep your arm by your ear, reaching. Of course, you can't see my hand, but it's just reaching out. And then turn and look up. So your arm's going to be a little bit behind you as you look up. Yeah. And then back to side, and then rotate your whole torso to look down, reaching through that left arm, bring it all the way down to the mat. So you feel like somewhat like a pretzel here. Yeah, good. And reach that arm back out, back to the side, and lift up. Both arms out in the T position. Lift tall as you inhale, and then follow one arm back as far as you can. Right. Stop and inhale here. Exhale, center, relaxing your shoulders. Inhale, lift. Exhale, follow the other hand back. Inhale, exhale back. Relax the arms. Take your outside leg and lift it up, and then your inside leg. And we're going to do a little transition here that I like to do for fun. So you can see my feet. Okay, we're going to walk on our butt. You can hold on or not. You can walk holding on or not. And you're just going to walk forward on your butt. Good for the hips. Lift one cheek and then the other, and then you're going to walk back. Right? A little harder. The harder part. Okay, and then you come back to where you were. We're going to take it to the other side. So fold that leg under and your left leg behind you. Yeah. So again, my pelvis is different on this. See, my hips are really different on this side because I have a tilted pelvis. So if you need to sit differently, feel free, right? If this position doesn't work for you, but we're going to try to get that hip down as much as we can. Keep the spine lifted, arms out. Good, nice and tall. Nice deep breath. Rotate. Put your hand on the mat and try to point your sternum between your hands, right? So you're twisting. Yeah. And then cat-cow. You might need to walk your hands a little farther away. Inhale, lift the sternum. Exhale, press and round your back. So it's really good for the spine. Keep going. It's really good for the spine to mobilize it in all these different positions, all these crazy twists, right? So that's why I love Mermaid. It's just so good for your spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press and round the back. Good. Yes, I'm very different on this side. So you might notice a difference on both sides as you do this. Last one. And press and round the back. Good. Coming back to neutral and lifting up and around. Hand on the mat, right arm by your ear. And you're just going to lean into that side stretch. Yes. Good. Turn and look up. So your arm a little bit behind you. Rotate upward. Good. Back to side and rotate your chest to point down, reaching that arm all the way down to wherever a hand goes, right? And just feel that nice stretch in your shoulder. And then reach out and lift up. So arms in T. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale, follow one arm back. Good. Inhale, exhale, back. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale, follow the other hand back as far as you can. Good. Stop and inhale. And exhale, back. And relax your arms. Now we're going to bring both legs out. So take this leg, your left leg out in front of you, and bring your right leg out in front of you. Good. So we're going to make a diamond with your legs. So you've got your feet away from you a bit, feet together. Yeah, if you can sit tall here, you can always use your hands to press yourself a little bit forward. And your hands on your ankles, somewhere around there, right? And you're just going to lean forward, pull your torso toward the ground, opening the hips, stretching the hips after that little mermaid exercise. So there we go. Yeah, and then coming back around. Now I'm going to turn this way because I think it'll be easier to see what I'm doing. So if you have trouble, you have tight hamstrings, you can't sit here with your legs on the ground like that. You need to bolster your knees, bolster your hips, or both. So if you have a blanket, for instance, folded blanket under your hips, you have this is options for those of you that are too tight to sit comfortably. It's very important that you have your position correct before you do it because you don't want to be like this, right? So we're going to stretch our legs apart like that, and you can be sitting tall by sitting upon that. You can even put pillows under your knees if you need them, right? So you've got real good support here. If you have something under your rear, something under your knees, and you can relax and sit tall. So please do whatever you need to do in that regard because we're not all the same and we're not all young in our 30s and 20s anymore. Okay, so pointing your toes up, use your hands to press yourself forward, press your legs into the ground. This will help you stretch. Yeah, and then again, if you're all bolstered up, reach if you need it, reach your arms forward. My position's not. Okay, reach your arms forward. As you inhale, you're going to lift. As you exhale, we're doing a forward reach with our arms. You're going to peel your spine off the wall. That's the image. And you're just going to stretch your arms between your legs and reach. Really reach. Now we're going to flatten the back. So we're going to lift up as we flatten our back. Arms really don't move. They stay where they're at, though, right? But you're flattening your back. Reach to the crown. Reach to your fingertips. Really stretch. Good. Now we're going to rotate. So you're going to rotate and look under one arm, right? Back to center. Reach to the crown. Lengthen through the fingers. Good. And then rotate and look under your other arm. Reach. Good. Back to center. Good. And then let your arms come down all the way, and you're just going to stack your spine back to the top. Good. You need to shake your legs out or give them a rest. Okay, for saw, we're just going to do a traditional saw, but to begin with, right, the thing is you really want to anchor your hips and not let them move. So to begin with, rotate without letting your hips move. So pay close attention. Bring your hand behind you as you stretch toward your opposite foot, right? And reach your opposite hip into the mat. So here I'm stretching over my left leg and I'm reaching my right hip into the mat. Good, and then lift up. So this gets you ready. It's a little prep. Rotate, bring your hand behind you. Hip reaches into the mat as you stretch across toward your opposite toes there and up. Good. Now, if you want to continue using that assist, please do. Otherwise, we'll do it without the assist. So reaching your hip into the mat and you're stretching across. Good. Inhale, lift and rotate. Exhale, reach. Good. And traditional saw, keep going, a few more. Rotate. You do a little double exhale. So inhale, rotate. Exhale. I guess the original image is that you're supposed to imagine that you're sawing off your little pinky toe. And I personally don't like that image, so I don't tend to use it. Okay, keep going and stretching toward the opposite foot without letting the hips move. And come up. Now we're going to go into back saw. We're going to take it into a backward saw. So rotate, let your back hand come down, elbow bend, and you're going to arch back. Right? And up. Back to center, rotate, and lean into that arch. Good. We're going to do it a couple more times with the option of lifting your hips off the mat if you want. Okay, so rotate, hand goes behind you, and you arch back like that. Yeah, lower down, come back to center, rotate, arch up. Good. And lower down. One more time, back to center. Inhale and exhale. Lower down, back to center. Last one. Inhale, exhale, arch. Or with your hips on the ground. Good. Lower down. Flop. And back to center. And relax your arms. Let your shoulders relax. Get your legs, let them bend, let them shake them out a little bit. And just stretch forward over your legs. So if you can, again, start from the pelvis. If you need to bend your knees, no problem, you can do that, but start from your pelvis and bring your torso toward your legs. Flex the feet. Good, and stretch. And come up. Good. So that was a little spine medicine. There's lots more we can do maybe another time, but for now, keep your spine healthy and mobile and young. Like Joseph Pilates said, you can be 30 years old, but if your spine's inflexible, you're old. You can be 60 years old, like I'm over 60, right? And if you have a flexible spine, you're young. So your determination of your age is really the spine. That's in Joseph's words. Okay, see you next time. Thanks.